like to remind all of our listeners that the opinions of individual shows or DJs do not necessarily reflect those of NBR Radio. Please keep in mind this is entertainment and intended for the listener with a sense of humor.
Portions of this program may not be suitable for those under the age of 18. Parental guidance is suggested.
Beer30 is when you walk into a bar or a VFW, and in that 30 seconds, you can already tell.
That guy right there is drunk, that guy's an idiot, and that guy down there knows it all.
There are programs out there beyond the VA.
Many nonprofit organizations. The Beer30 Show.
It's the Beer30 Show. Made by veterans.
All right, everybody, thank you for staying tuned. We are back. And once again, as the Beer30 Show always does, not only do we bring you entertainment, but we have a great organization on the phone with us today. Kevin from Gold, I want to make sure I get this right, Gold Crown Foundation. The great thing about this organization is that it doesn't just help the military and their military families, but this helps the civilian population as well. So it's a real honor, Kevin, to have you on the show today, and we really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule just to give the listeners at home a brief description about what your organization is about.
Sure, yeah, absolutely, and it's my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me tonight, and kudos to you guys for your show. I was reading about it on your website before I came on, and I think you guys are doing a great thing trying to put some of these nonprofits out in front of veterans and their families. So, yeah, Gold Crown Foundation. So we're a youth sports and education foundation. We were founded in 1986, so we're in our 30th year, and the original offerings that we had were just girls basketball camps. One of our co-founders is a gentleman by the name of Bill Hanslick, and he was a former Denver Nugget player. He spent 8 years here in Denver as a player and then as a coach, and he still does TV work for the Nuggets. But during the off season, he wanted to start a camp for girls. There weren't any in Denver. And so we rolled that out in 1986, and then that snowballed into more and more needs as school districts began to cut after-school programs, particularly for middle school kids. And in the late 90s and early 2000s, we acquired some property in Lakewood, which is just west of downtown Denver, and we built a 56,000 square foot indoor sports facility, field house with basketball courts and volleyball courts. And at that time, we added an education program, which is a after-school program for kids in the neighborhood to come over and learn art and technology, particularly technology related things with computers and 3D printers and all of that type of stuff. And today, currently, our programs we offer, in addition to the education, the sports programs that we provide are basketball, volleyball, golf, and lacrosse. And just recently, we added a program which is really to support our youth basketball program, but it's an officiating assignment program. So.
Outstanding. Well, you know what, Danny? I will be the gentleman and let you go first with the question, and then I'll follow.
Sure.
Well, you see, the problem, Joel, is that you already asked my first question, Mr. Gentleman. So guess what? I'm going to skip to number 3 because he pretty much answered number 2, which was your question.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is great. I love it.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
And we don't even have to ask them something. They just talk about it. And, we ain't going to stop you, Kevin, because
Good. good. I've been told that I talk too much, so don't be
No,
afraid.
no. You don't talk too much. I'm just saying that it's great to have somebody that can like get right to the point. We don't have to beat the answers out of him. So that's awesome. The less me and Danny have to talk, the better.
Especially for Joel, you know,
Good.
the less he has
Especially
to
for
talk.
me.
Good stuff.
Yeah, because I tend to say stupid stuff.
Well, I don't know if you remember, Joel, but we met. You came up and worked with some of our volleyball girls last year for Olympic Day. You came up and helped us out with some of the kids and just did a great job and really, I thought, told a great story. So we've met before.
Yeah, I remember. I have slept since then, but I do remember a little bit about that. I had a lot of fun. I was really amazed. I have a wounded warrior friend. I call her Leanne, but I'm sure that that's probably not her name because I butcher people's names. I thought I was doing really good the last week, and yeah, I butchered his name and didn't even you realize it. But when I had spoke to her, I told her about our nonprofit investigator talk show, and she's like, "Oh, well, my brother-in-law is part of Gold Crown," and I'm like, "Oh, wow, okay, all right." So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So go ahead, Danny. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
See, Joel never lets me talk, ever. So
Oh.
I've got to sit in there and just wait for him to finish. And Joel, if you couldn't tell, he's a talker. He'll like go off on one tangent. He'll start talking about like a nonprofit, and he'll end up with let's say Pogs from 1990s, a little caps that
Oh,
you
yeah.
somehow he'll end up.
Yeah.
So so back to your nonprofit. Thank you, Joel.
No problem.
Back to the nonprofit. How can one become an official for one of you guys' games?
Yeah, it's actually the officiating has really been a very cool thing that we've gotten into and quite enormous as well. This past year, 2015, we ended up assigning and putting officials on 20,000 youth basketball games. And so we cover not only our own programs, but a lot of the other youth sports organizations, particularly youth basketball organizations in the Denver metro area. And one of the things that we quickly realized is that our pool of officials was stretched pretty thin to cover that many games, as you can imagine. So what we ended up creating is our short little weekend academies, which are designed to take a guy or girl who may have never even played the game of basketball, let alone officiated, and it takes them in a 3-day weekend, so a Friday evening classroom setting, Saturday on the court session, and then a Sunday shadow session with seasoned officials in a live game. And in that 3-day period, we get them at least ready for the entry level. And when I say entry level, that's going to be, your recreation, your Pee-wee, YMCA level basketball. And then from there, the more games that they work, we offer professional development courses for the officials to move up. And as they move up, we have a scale. They move up a level, they get more competitive games, maybe older kids, their pay goes up, and so on and so forth. And we've got officials that are certified to work college games, but they, on the weekends for either a little extra money or they just like it and staying in shape, they work our youth games. So we really have officials at all skill levels or all experience levels, but for those new ones, the ones who are just trying to break in, we offer those weekend academies, which are a great introduction to it and get them off and running. So
that's amazing, and Joel's sitting here laughing because I'm making all these funny.
No,
faces.
I'm laughing because you're making funny faces in the camera. That's why I'm laughing. I've never seen Danny make this many funny faces. I think Danny got too much sleep last night because he's all pepped up with with Pep today. So you know,
Wait,
you
did you see how Joel just cut me off when I was trying to say something? This is what I was talking
You know
about.
what? Well, I can tell you guys have been together for a little while because he's pretty smooth with it. He's pretty smooth.
Well, he knows. He knows if he starts talking, I'm just going to shut up because that's what I do. You know, I'm polite. So
Are you married, Danny? Because I'm that way with my wife too. I
I
just
am.
when she starts, I stop.
Well,
So there you
yes,
go.
I'm married, and I'm used to doing that with a lot of women. So Joel doesn't make any difference.
That's good. That's funny.
Okay, Joel, you may talk now.
Well, you know, I was just gonna say, you know, you was talking about the camps and stuff. Do you have a camp or a weekend? Not camp, but what's the word I'm looking for? Do you have like a weekend workshop that is coming up? Because while we have you on here, we might as well go ahead and ask you about it so that you can promote it a little bit. So,
So
you
I
know, at
can
least
throw a
that we
little
can
plug
do.
in there.
Yeah.
Sure. No, thanks. The dates are not set yet. A lot of our events follow tournaments that we host because we like to do it within our facility, and we're waiting to shore up a couple of late spring tournaments. But that'll be our next academy. My guess is it's going to be early to mid-May. And then we'll offer another one probably the summertime. Summer is a little different. There's not as many events. Most of the programs become more traditional summer camps versus leagues and tournaments. So in the summer we'll have a modified version, but then as we head into the fall, we run one in October and then in December. So our goal is really to offer four of them each year. And in addition to that, we also were approved to teach a credit course at Metro State College at Denver. So we also teach an officiating course on campus there, which is another great way for people to get introduced into it. And really, when you look at it, we have some officials who work. They go through the academy, and if there's any of your listeners that are interested, our website will have all that information. But in a quick three-day clinic, you're off and running. We pay our officials anywhere from $20 a game or an hour up through $28 for some of the older, more seasoned guys. So it's a great way to earn a little extra income, and it's the way our signing works is you can control your own schedule. So you go on and you pick games that work for you as the official. So a lot of flexibility there in a great way, and certainly these academies are the best way for anybody, any of your listeners or anybody else who wants to get involved, because it's a great introduction.
All right. Awesome. Danny, I'll let you ask the last question, and we'll have him give out his information, and then we'll go to commercial and station identification. But we want to make sure that you have every opportunity, Kevin, to get that information out there. So
yeah, absolutely.
Danny's pretty good on knowing what has been asked and what hasn't been asked, especially since I'm over here doing the soundboard and stuff. So,
sure.
Danny, I'll let you ask the last question, and you can take us to break.
Yeah. First, Kevin, I wouldn't give out your information because Joel might write it down and stalk you.
Oh, wow.
So, you pretty much answered all the questions we had, and the ones that we, I was gonna say you just answered all the questions.
Sure.
Yeah,
No.
he was pretty thorough. This is awesome. We didn't even have to say anything.
I know. I was able to sit here and play with Crazy Frog with my webcam for a little bit, so it was it was pretty good. If you watch the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. I got Joel over here laughing behind the mic. So.
Yeah, no, I'm going to have to go grab that from you guys. I saw it on your Facebook page. I thought I better not be watching the video while I'm doing the podcast because I'll be a mess. But.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, we have Brandy for that. Brandy sits there and watches the Twitch, and I'm sure she can't stop laughing right now. So, Anyway, so since we pretty much gotten through all the questions, could you please give our listeners your website address, your Facebook, Twitter,
Sure.
how they can donate and that kind of stuff to you guys?
Sure, absolutely. So our website's goldcrownfoundation.com. Social media, it's goldcrownco. That's same for our Twitter handle and our Facebook page. And really on our website, right there on the homepage, we've got a lot of a lot of the different ways people can be involved with Gold Crown. Obviously, we provide these programs for kids, but we have a lot of volunteer opportunities. Almost all of the teams and programs that we offer have volunteer coaches that give their time to the kids. We've got donation opportunities there. We work with a lot of great corporate partners and other foundations that do grant work. So there's all of that information right there on our website. In addition to our scholarship information, which is another great part about Gold Crown. Our objective is to never turn any kids away for really any reason. And so we do a lot of scholarship work. We host a lot of underprivileged or underserved kids for free for different events. In fact, we've got one that we're doing in a month where we're bringing about 200 kids up from Fort Carson in Colorado Springs, whose parents are either currently or formerly deployed. We bring them up, we take them to a Rockies game, we treat them well, feed them, all of that, and really have a great time with them. And so all of that information right there from our website, you can get to all of the different links and subpages. So.
Well, Kevin,
awesome.
Thank you very, very much for coming onto our show and telling us about Gold Crown Foundation. Sounds like an amazing nonprofit, and everybody out there listening, please jump over to their Facebook page, give them a shout out, give them some donations, do something, help them out. They're awesome.
Absolutely. And if you want to anybody wants to get into, officiating, coaching, anything like that. I mean, like I said, we're all about kids. What's in the best interest of kids is kind of our credo or motto, and there's lots of ways to get involved. And I would be amiss if I didn't thank you guys and thank all of your listeners who, currently, formerly serve this country. You guys are heroes of mine, and a big part of Gold Crown is supporting and saying thanks to military and their families. So thank you guys.
All right, awesome. Okay, well, Kevin, once again, thank you so much, and hopefully we get to talk to you in the near future about all the success that you're having.
My pleasure, guys. You as well.
Have a good one.
All right, take care.
Bye. All right, so everyone, that was Kevin. I don't want to butcher the name. That was Kevin Petty, Executive Director of Gold Crown Foundation. So we're going to go to commercial, and when we come back from commercial, we're going to not only have the power play, but today's power play, we're going to take a moment, because evidently even goldfish can be abused for animal rights. More to come after these messages, everybody.
This is MBR, saluting those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for their country.
Rock and roll!
We'll ride if you wanna rock and roll. It's only rock and roll, but I like it.
Rocking the troops.